need to put those information piece by piece together. So the first step is data preparation. To fix errors, merge tables, and reformat data as needed for the model creation. The second step is exploratory data analysis to discover relationships and anomalies. Most people will skip this part, okay? Because for new grads, they will just move from this to build a model. Or this part can reveal significantly information, and then you need to make sure what you get is actually useful for your model building. For example, if you are looking at credit risk, credit information in a bank, and you found most people are less than 18 years old, okay, the legal age in Ontario for a credit card is 18 years old. If you find anyone who has less than 18 years old and have a credit card, you should challenge the data source, challenge the data integrity. Okay. So after you finish this step, when you discover relationship and anomalies, and make sure that the information you have put together is informative for you to build a model, you move on to another step, variable transformation and the selection to help better focus the modeling process. Because in order to build a valid model, you need to have multiple assumptions. In order to have multiple assumptions validated, you need to have variable to do some transformations to fit your model. So that's variable transformation.
But the model is from the second step.
No, this part is.
It's only for the primary. But where's the model?
Model comes from on the first step. Okay. So the previous step is just getting the data ready, clean the data, do the variable transformation. At first step, finally you come to the most exciting part, which is model building. Model building using comparative algorithm to search for a combination of data that reliably predicts the outcome. Okay, that's where you build a model. You can build a decision tree, logistic regression, neural network, all kinds of unsupervised analysis. After you have a model, the next part is to test and validate that the model you build is useful for future use. You should remember every model you build has the assumption that the past can predict future. Okay? If past is just like, if you're using 2008, the credit crisis model of data to predict that very stable economics, it won't work. If you use the US data to predict the Europe, somehow if you use the US data to predict Canada, customers, maybe they are kind of stable. However, if you're using the US data to predict the Europe customers, then it's like way off. So testing and validation is another step to have a valid data mining model. Okay. So after you have built a model, validate the model, and think the model is good, then you move on to deployment of the model and results into applications and database to optimize business process and improve business decisions. This part is more involving in IT, that you implement your decision model in your back office or in your systems that can be optimized and optimize the database. Then this is ongoing process, monitoring the model performance to ensure the model is predicting well and does not need recalibrations. So we have that's the first step, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps to have valid data mining steps. And how many, like based on my career knowledge, this you need to hire one person to do it. This you need a bunch of IT guys to do it. This is a vetting group, which is independent review of the model, who built the model. That's another people. And the above steps belong to 1 or 2 people. So just based on one model, you need to involve like at least a team of 5 to 10 people to have a valid and useful data mining model. So let's move on to the credit risk management. So the above is the data mining word, which is a general word that's involving different areas, different industries. So let's look at the credit risk management, which is our second part in this presentation. This is the credit. So this is the kind of graph of what's going on from 2004 to 2009. So the first line here is the unemployment rate. You see 2005, 2007 is like the economic booming period. You have very stable unemployment rate. The second line here, number of consumer bankruptcy. How many people declared bankruptcy inside here? Still very, very stable. Around, it's above 3%, around 3.5%. Okay. The last line here is the 90 days delinquency rate. It's okay it's okay if you're not familiar with 90 days delinquency rate. It's just showing what kind of percentage of people will never pay the credit card bills in 3 months. So you'll see at these steps it's kind of stable, which every bank reports a significant record profit. After that, in 2009, it kind of spiked. From the employment rate is under 6% across the whole line. However, later 2008, it spiked to above 8%, which is a 2% difference. And the net loss rate significantly spikes. So the graph shows you like at these steps, nobody cares about risk management. After that, everybody cares about risk management. So risk management is kind of the co-development in a bank, because you can for a bank you can earn as many money as you want from lending monies, doing trades, equity trades, sending out credit cards. However, if everybody delinquent on you, you'll lose almost everything just based on this graph. Okay, so in order to have a valid, healthy banking system, you need to have a good or excellent risk management in your banking system. So what's risk management do? Risk management helps analysts and business decision makers improve financial performance by reducing losses, improve capital management, building a risk-aware culture, reducing time and cost of compliance. So how do you reduce loss? Not approve mortgage, credit cards to people who have bad behavior in credit. Improve capital management. How can improve cash management? Hedge every position you have in your market risk. That if you have equity or long equity, then you need to have some kind of insurance to cover your capital to cover your capital loss. Building a risk-aware culture, saying that risk management is good. We need to focus on risk management, not just earning more money, but to control our loss, reducing time.